This is the solution video for section 7.1, problem number 8. So it says write the expression in sigma notation with A, an initial value of 1, and B, an initial value of 0. All right, so first of all, we have to take a look at what things are being added together. So I have f of x sub 1 delta x sub 1 plus f of x sub 2. Excuse me, f of x sub 2 delta x sub 2 plus, and so on, plus f of x sub n delta x sub n. So what we want to do is we need to have each term, each group of things multiplied together inside of the summation. All right, so first of all, f of x sub 1 delta x sub 1, f of x sub 2 delta x sub 2. So every one of these terms has f of x sub something times delta x sub something. So what is that something? Well, the first thing, it was 1, then it was 2, then it was 3, then it was 4, and so on until it was n. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, well, that's k. So f of x sub k delta x sub k. All right, and the first thing I plugged in was 1, and the last thing I plugged in was n. So this is part A, an initial index value of 1, right? Because if I plug in, I get f of x sub 1 delta x sub 1 plus f of x sub 2 delta x sub 2 plus and so on up to f of x sub n delta x sub n. Now, what about B? It says with an initial index value of 0. So now, sum from k equals 0 to what? Well, if I've subtracted 1 there, then that means I have to subtract 1 from n minus 1. All right, but now, instead of subtracting 1 there, I need to add 1. So f of x sub k plus 1, and then delta x sub k plus 1, right? So that means if I plug 0 in, I get 0 plus 1 is x sub 1, right? So that's going to give me my first term. And then the last term, n minus 1. So if I have n minus 1 plus 1, that's n. And the last term has f of x sub n. So that's it for A and for B.